Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday. It is the 23rd day of October 2023. I hope you had a good weekend. Hope your family had a good weekend and that you and your family are safe and healthy. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, who, along with the first responders, every day are saving lives. And those also that pick up garbage for us to keep streets and sidewalks and places clean and disease free, along with those also that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover children and teenagers who are unfortunate victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People who are also victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography and child pornography, human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that participate in these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and children are homeless, living in the streets of the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So, the New York Knicks opening night is Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at Madison Square Garden against the Boston Celtics. Going to be on ESPN, so it's a nationally televised game to start the year. Yes, it's going to be a good game. Now, the thing is the first 9 games, or should I say not the first 9, but 9 out of the first 14 games for the Knicks are on the road this year. 9 out of the first 14. Now, at first glance, somebody that doesn't know the Knicks, somebody that barely, just kind of cursory watches them or watches the NBA, going to think, oh man, that's a tough schedule. And generally, you would say, yeah, that's a tough schedule. I mean, you go on the road from the first night against Boston, they're at home. But then Atlanta, New Orleans, Cleveland on the road. Then they come back to the Garden to play Cleveland again. Then they're on the road at Milwaukee. Then they're at home for 3 games. Then they go on the road at Atlanta, Washington, Charlotte, Minnesota. So it's a big time road schedule. Like I said, 9 games out of the first 14. But based on the way the Knicks performed in years past, including last year, but it's not just last year. It has happened in Tom Thibodeau's era, basically. The Knicks have been consistently solid performers on the road. For some reason, the road hasn't been a big detriment to the Knicks. They've been consistently solid performers on the road. In fact, in the first round cleanup of Cleveland this past season, they clinched on the road. See? So they seem to perform better, and that is in large part a function of Julius Randle, who also seems to perform better on the road. He seems to perform better on the road. I don't know if Madison Square Garden's a distraction for him. We know that it can affect him with his, thumbs down that he did a couple seasons ago. But we also know that his best performances have come on the road. I don't know, maybe he just, because leadership sets the tone. And so there's no doubt that Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle are the leaders of this team, whether we like it or not. See, there's a lot of things that Knicks Nation refused to accept that are evident. And when we talk about Julius Randle as an example, people keep bringing up trade scenarios when the Knicks have no intention of trading him. I used to want to trade him, but I came to the realization that the management does not want to trade him, and they're not going to trade him. So, that's a receiving of truth right there. Versus people that keep knocking their head up against the wall and Julius Randle need to be traded. And then the second thing is people keep bringing up, well, we need backup power forward. No, we don't. The Knicks are not interested. They're very happy with the plan of having Josh Hart as the backup power forward. Well, he's only 6'4", blah, blah, blah. And all you experts out there that you think you know more than the Knicks and Knicks management and Tom Thibodeau, go start your own team. They're very comfortable with Josh Hart backing up Julius Randle. They're not worried about him being only 6'4". Neither should we. So the reality is, because Julius and Brunson, they don't care what arena they're in, if they're on the road or at home. they're gonna do what they do. So I'm hoping that starting and it's so. In other words, what I'm saying is 9 of the first 14 on the road is a good thing for the Knicks. I think it's a good thing. I think it'll get them on their toes. It'll get them ready to play. They understand they're in hostile territory. They understand the stakes this year. And I'm glad they start the year against Boston because I'm not guaranteeing a win against Boston. Obviously, Boston is rated as one of the top two teams in the East. Everybody knows Boston with the acquisition of Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. They're rated the top two teams in the East. This is a team that went to the Eastern Conference Finals this past season, and I believe they went to the finals the year before that. So they're knocking on the door right now, as they should be. And so they've made big changes in getting Kristaps and then getting Jrue Holiday. Of course, they let go of Robert Williams III, and they let go of a really big piece in Marcus Smart. So we'll see how this works out. But anyway, the Knicks are going to take this game seriously. And they're usually up to play against Boston, particularly R.J. Barrett. He and Emmanuel Quickley. Speaking of Emmanuel Quickley, today is D-Day. It's the 23rd. I don't know. I don't know if he's going to sign an extension or not. I know it's come. Here it's obvious if he does sign an extension today that it came down to the last minute. It would be obvious because this is where we're at. We're in the 23rd. It has to be done by today, the 23rd. By midnight tonight. Got to be done. Okay? So we'll see. And again, this 100% certainty is going to create movement at the end of this season for the Knicks. It's 100% certainty. For example, if IQ does sign and he gets an extension, once the poison pill part is done, July 1st, he's eligible to be traded. His salary now works. People keep bringing up trades now. There will be no trade now for Emmanuel Quickley. Why? His contract is only $4 million. You're looking for superstar. You're going superstar hunting if you're trading Emmanuel Quickley. And $4 million ain't getting you a superstar, even with Evan Fournier's contract. Okay? So, but next summer, when this poison pill period ends and it's July 1st, his contract is going to be worth at least $20 million per season. So you got at least $20 million. You could still exercise Fournier's option if you choose to include him in a trade. And so now you're dealing with somewhere in the $40 million range. $40 million gets you a whole bunch of different players. Okay, that's another neighborhood right there. That neighborhood includes Joel Embiid. That neighborhood includes Luka Doncic. That neighborhood includes Cat. And I'm not saying we're gonna get any of them, but we're in that price range with that type of trade at that point. Okay, so we'll see what happens. But this is if he does sign. If he doesn't sign, we're still in the same situation because it'll be a sign and trade. Third option, if he does sign and he decides he wants to stay in New York, Deuce McBride will be traded next summer. He's going to go somewhere. Okay. And I don't know if it'll be a sign and trade or whatever, but you can't keep both of them. The Knicks are loaded. That's the problem. They're loaded. People keep bringing up names to come in and you're not bringing up where they're going to play. And that's the common with the NBA 2K fantasy crowd. You bring up all of these names as if you could just add every stray dog that's available to the Knicks. No, you can't. There's a limited number of minutes. Even if Thibodeau is going to go with a 10-man rotation, you still stacked. Okay? So you got to have somebody leave. You'll decide that next summer. Okay? But you're not going to be able to keep Deuce McBride and Emmanuel Quickley. You're just not going to be able to. Deuce is too good. He's going to be playing for somebody. And Quickley's too good. He's a starter on somebody's team. So one of them is leaving, okay, next summer. Then today is going to tell you which one. If Quickley does not sign, it's him. If he does sign, it's 50-50 because it depends on who's available next year. But we will find out today for sure because either he signs or he doesn't. It doesn't look good, but that is as far as him signing, but it doesn't mean it won't happen. Okay, they could be, if I'm his agent, I'm trying to get my client the best deal I can. Some people still don't get it. Some people say, well, so too much, that's too much money for Quickley. No, there's no such thing as too much money in the NBA. You get what you could get. If it was your family, what? You want somebody to tell you, oh, you were asking for too much? But the Don is economical and frugal. So he's not going to hurt his overall salary structure. He's not going to do that. You all should know that. But quickly going to get his money because he's earned that money. In a pro athlete's life retirement is after like 10 years. In my life, I'm 62 and I'm still working. I'm probably going to work till 65, 66, 67. So that's for the real life. But when you're an athlete on a pro level in entertainment, it's a whole different world, and you got to get when you could get. And this is what Quickly's doing, and more power to him. So all you talking about, that's too much money. No, ain't no too much money. And this some of you are talking about, he didn't earn that. So really, there's nobody that actually earns, that really earns $40 million a year and say they worth that. This is based on market value of what the NBA is bringing in. That's what it is. Okay, so these kids are trying to get what they could get, and Quickly's among them. He should get his money, whatever it is. I hope he gets 120 million, whatever he could get. Okay, so this is the deal. If I'm his agent, I'm trying to get the best deal for him. If he decides he wants to stay in New York, fine. We're gonna we're gonna push to the last minute to get as much money as we can. That's why he might sign today. But then again, Quickly might say, I'm betting on myself. I'm gonna go for more, and he might not. But we're gonna find out today. In the meantime, y'all have a good Monday. Shalom.